a serious dance.
Hey, man.
Two young children named Richard and Emmeline are aboard a ship with their father, Arthur, making their way to San Francisco following the death of their mother. It is supposed to be a fresh start, a new chapter. Instead, it becomes the beginning of something none of them could have ever prepared for. Even before disaster strikes, trouble finds them early. Richard and Emmeline sneak into a room on the ship and stumble upon some photos belonging to Patty, the ship's cook. Patty catches them red-handed and immediately loses his temper, laying into Richard without mercy. Emmeline, small but fierce, sinks her teeth into Patty's arm to make him stop. Not exactly the start of a beautiful friendship. Then everything falls apart at once. A massive fire breaks out on the ship, turning the deck into pure chaos. In the panic, Arthur gets separated from his children. Richard and Emmeline end up on a lifeboat with Patty, drifting away from everything they knew, heading in the completely wrong direction. After what feels like forever at sea, their boat finally scrapes against the shore of a small tropical island. Remote, beautiful, completely cut off from the rest of the world. Patty spots the island and steers them toward it, and just like that, survival mode kicks in. They bathe in a freshwater river, eat bananas Patty finds nearby, and try to make sense of their impossible situation. Emmeline even discovers a barrel of rum tucked away on the shore, which makes Patty considerably happier than the bananas did. But the good mood doesn't last long. Richard finds a human skull half buried in the sand, the kind of discovery that makes you immediately reconsider your real estate choices. Patty is rattled and wastes no time ordering them away from that part of the island. From that point on, they spend their days watching the horizon, quietly hoping Arthur's ship will appear one day and take them home. Life on the island settles into a rhythm. Patty does his best to teach the children how to survive, what to eat, what to avoid, how to stay safe. He means well, even if his methods are rough around the edges. Unfortunately, Emmeline learns the hard way when she carelessly eats some fruit she finds in the jungle. Patty panics, warns her firmly that many things on this island can kill her, and from that moment, the lesson sticks. Then one morning, everything changes again. Patty had been drinking the rum heavily the night before. He wanders down to the beach and discovers fresh meat sitting on a rock, left there by someone or something. The realization that they are not alone on this island hits him hard. He becomes protective and paranoid, forbidding Richard and Emmeline from wandering far and filling their heads with ghost stories to keep them close. Then, still drunk, he goes for a swim in the sea. He never comes back. Richard and Emmeline search for him the next morning and find his body washed up on the shore. They paddle out in the lifeboat to confirm what they already fear. Patty is gone. The man who fed them, protected them, and held everything together, gone. Richard takes Emmeline back to the hut, and for the first time on this island, they are truly alone. Time moves the way it does when no one is keeping track of it. Slowly, and then all at once, the children grow up. One day, Richard surprises Emmeline with a handful of pearls he discovered, and the look on her face tells a story of its own. She hugs him and admits she thinks about him all the time. Something between them is shifting, quietly and naturally, the way things do when two people are each other's entire world. They celebrate Christmas together on the beach. They've forgotten the words to most of the songs, but they celebrate anyway, because what else can you do? When Emmeline gets her first period, she has no idea what is happening. She panics, convinced something is terribly wrong. Richard panics too, thinking she's badly hurt. Confused and overwhelmed, Emmeline pushes him away, and Richard, equally confused, gives her space he doesn't fully understand why she needs. Puberty arrives for both of them with no one to explain it, no books to reference, and no guidance whatsoever. Just two teenagers on an island figuring out feelings neither of them has a name for yet. One night, a strange sound rattles the hut from outside. Richard grabs Emmeline's hand and promises he will destroy anything that threatens her. It is the kind of promise only someone very young and very in love makes, absolute and completely sincere. During another quiet evening, Emmeline wanders deeper into the forest alone and finds something that stops her cold. A statue covered in blood, standing in the middle of the trees. She runs back to Richard, terrified. Richard, rather than comforting her, gets angry that she went into the forest without telling him. That night, Emmeline wakes screaming from a nightmare, and Richard pulls her close and holds her tight, swearing again to always keep her safe. But later that same night, she wakes to find Richard far too close to her. She tells him firmly to back off. Richard, wounded and embarrassed, withdraws completely, spending his days alone on the beach, cold and distant, brushing her off every time she tries to reach him. Their tension boils over on the day they spot a ship passing in the distance. Richard scrambles to light a signal fire. He fails. The ship disappears. He rounds on Emmeline, blaming her for not being close enough to help. He even threatens to leave her alone on the island. When he storms toward his boat and immediately struggles to control it, Emmeline bursts out laughing. The moment cracks them both open. They start mocking each other until Emmeline accidentally launches a coconut straight into Richard's head. He is not amused. He kicks her out of the hut entirely, and for several days she sleeps outside while he watches her from inside like a sulking king who clearly misses his queen but refuses to admit it. Then something genuinely frightening happens. Emmeline steps on a poisonous fish and her whole body gives out. She can barely move. Richard watches her collapse and feels the full weight of every promise he made to protect her come crashing down at once. He carries her deep into the forest, all the way to the blood-stained statue she found before. He kneels down and prays, raw, unpolished prayer from a boy with no religious education, just desperation. She recovers. They fall into each other's arms. They apologize, and from that moment, something between them is different. No longer just two children surviving together. Something more, something real. Months pass. Emmeline starts eating constantly, massive portions, unstoppable hunger. Richard gently suggests she slow down. She can't explain why she can't. Then one day she refuses to swim with him, pressing her hand against her stomach and saying something feels strange inside. Neither of them has any idea what is happening. They assume she is sick. Then Emmeline goes missing. Richard tears through the forest searching for her and stumbles upon a group of island tribespeople in the middle of a sacrifice ritual. He backs away slowly and keeps moving until he finds Emmeline deep in the trees, on the ground, in labor, with no midwife, no hospital, and no clue what to do next. But somehow, life finds a way. Emmeline gives birth to a healthy baby boy. They name him Paddy in honor of the rough, rum-loving cook who kept them alive long enough to reach this moment. At first, they have no idea how to feed him. Nothing they try works until Emmeline holds him against her chest and instinct takes over. The baby nurses. They exhale. They raise him together, watching him grow from a helpless newborn into a strong, curious little boy who one day says his first word and sends them both into joyful disbelief. One afternoon, a ship appears on the horizon. Richard grabs Emmeline's hand as they realize it's Arthur, their father, still searching for them after all these years, refusing to give up. But Richard and Emmeline look at each other, then look at their son, then look back at the island that raised them. They don't call out, they don't wave. They have built a life here, a strange, imperfect, beautiful life. Arthur scans the island through his telescope, sees only a young couple with a baby, and eventually sails on. He doesn't know. He can't know. He leaves. Sometime later, Richard decides they should return to the original part of the island for food supplies. Emmeline refuses to go ashore. The memory of Patty's death still lives in her body. Richard goes alone while she waits in the boat with the baby. She dozes off. She wakes to find little Patty has thrown one of the oars overboard. The boat begins to drift. Richard sees it from shore and dives into the water, swimming hard to catch up. Then a shark appears, cutting through the water toward him. Emmeline grabs the remaining oar and hurls it toward the shark, distracting it just long enough for Richard to reach the boat safely. He climbs in. They collapse against each other, breathless. Then they realize both oars are gone. They are adrift. Days pass. Then one morning they wake to a horrifying sight. Little Patty has been eating the berries from a plant nearby, poisonous ones. Richard and Emmeline try desperately to get the fruit out of him, but he has already eaten several. They look at each other across their drifting boat, their helpless child between them, and make a silent decision. If Patty goes, they go too. They eat the berries themselves. All three of them drift into stillness together. A ship passes nearby, Arthur's ship. From the deck, Arthur spots an unusual lifeboat floating in the water. He orders his crew to pull alongside. When they climb aboard, they find three people, a young man, a young woman, and a small child, motionless and seemingly lifeless. But they have pulses. All three of them. The berries didn't kill, they only put you to sleep. Arthur stares at the young man and woman on the floor of the boat, and slowly, through years of distance and change, he recognizes them. His children, found at last, alive, with a grandchild he never knew existed, drifting peacefully on the open sea, as if the ocean itself had been keeping them safe all along. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like and subscribe to Scene Scout for more.